So we begin with a bunch of high-profile events being impacted, of course, by COVID and the highly contagious Omicron variant. So the Grammys are being postponed indefinitely. Last year, if you remember, stars like Beyonce showed up to accept their awards outdoors. But this year, many artists are reluctant to even attend the event, which was supposed to be taking place inside. Now, the Sundance Film Festival canceled all in-person events. It will go ahead, but everything is going to be online. And then Super Bowl organizers are looking at a contingency plan to move the game from SoFi Stadium into LA, from LA to the AT&T Stadium in Texas if COVID restrictions become too tight in California. If the halftime show is scrapped because of COVID, TMZ is reporting that Dr. Dre could be on the hook for millions because he's poured his own money into the show and his insurance will not cover any losses due to COVID. Wow. Just hearing all of these events, what do you think about that? The one that stands out the most to me is Super Bowl because I'm sure it's still going to go on. The Super Bowl is that a good idea? Yes.
Look, the Super Bowl is a huge windfall for whatever city that it's in. And I get that we have to be safe, but there are going to be cities that are going to say, we want that money. That's what this comes down to. And I went to Super Bowl a couple of years ago when it was in Minneapolis, and just seeing the people converge, what it does to your hotels, your business industry, how it brings light to your city. Somebody's going to take that Super Bowl. So it's a coveted thing. And if LA gives it up, there's going to be a lot of places in line.
What do you think about the halftime show? Can't they have Dr. Dre perform somewhere else and they just somehow like use satellite like we do to allow him to perform? I don't get it, Lindsay.
I mean, 2 years into the pandemic, I mean, my thoughts changed. I think a year ago, I would say like the NFL was doing a poor job at trying to protect people. But at this point, if we have vaccines and boosters and ways to protect ourselves, it really comes down to, should we just shut down indefinitely? Like the way to make obviously no one get COVID or very little cases would be no one does anything, no one goes to work, just everyone stay in their homes. But people have to make money, have to live their lives, continue on with their livelihood. And so, we can't continue to cancel stuff over and over again, especially when we're seeing that if you are, like you said earlier, vaccinated and boosted, this Omicron variant is not affecting people in the same way. I think we have to keep moving forward.
Jeff, would you go to the Super Bowl physically?
Yeah, I would. I would take my chances because that's on my bucket list. And I got to be honest with you, Sam, I'm not a doctor, right? But I believe everybody's going to catch this new strand, this Omicron strand, this variant. I'm triple vax, but the way society says is that you're not allowed to talk about vaccines. Just that's the way it is. We need to start bringing up some other options, right? I believe we're all getting it. Why don't we put health out there? We never ever worry about if a football player gets it, if a basketball player gets it, like, oh man, well, he'll be back in 2 weeks or a week, whatever it is. He'll be back. No one ever questions that if they're going to die or something's going to happen to them. Why are we bringing health more into this as an option? Because you're not allowed to fat shame. If I'm not allowed to talk about that or talk about health, how are we ever going to get past this problem? So would I take my chances? Yes. And if we don't get this under control by March, my Bieber tickets for a second year in a row are going to go to waste and I'm going to be very upset.
Wow, we're going to have to wait and see. I hope things are better by March.